At the end of the final episode of Ben 10 Omniverse, we witness, with Ben and Rook, the creation of the universe. After agreeing that life in Bellwood is too mundane now, Ben and Rook decide to go on a
road trip
with Gwen and Kevin. Today I would like to talk about my thoughts on a potential series that would contain this road trip. First, I would like to discuss the setting of this road trip. I think the most obvious place would be in space, seeing as Ben mentions wanting to see the universe, and Earth is only a microscopic portion of said universe. As for how the group would get to space, I think the Rust Bucket 3 is the obvious choice considering its ample space and it is a pre-existing vehicle in the franchise. I think that this series would take on a more episodic structure and thus take place on various different alien planets. Next, I want to talk characters. Obviously we get Ben, Gwen, Rook, and Kevin, but controversially, I want to add Kai Green into the mix. I personally don't mind her and Ben being together, but what I don't like is how Omniverse handled it. I think that if we were to take the fact that Kai is an aspiring alien archaeologist, then we can say that she tags along to learn more about alien culture and to obtain artifacts for her museum. As for characters aside from Kai, seeing as we're set in space, we can see all sorts of past fan favorite aliens make their return. I'd like to rattle off a handful of names just to get my point across as for how limitless the potential of returning characters is. Tetrax, the Incursions, Azimuth, the Plumber's Kids, Rhynie, Myax, Verdona, the Limax, the Big Tick Worshippers, Xylene, Ben's Necrophrygian Kids, Bazel, the Dragons, Magister Prior Galil, the Vreedles, Simeon, Eunice, Rook's family, and Luma Redwind. Each and every one of these can have their own episode or even arc surrounding them. While it is very fanservice-y, I think that if this series were to be the big send-off for Ben 10, it should be like a greatest hits montage of all the series. Now for the plot. I think that this show should be catered towards older fans, seeing as how the kids who grew up with this show are no longer kids. Granted, it's not going to be R-rated or anything, but maybe more like a mild PG-13. That being said, I think Ben has grown out of learning lessons every single episode, so I think that this show should develop the group as characters and explore the various dynamics between the characters. Like, how does Kevin react to Ben and Kai being awkward teens around each other? Do Kai, Gwen, and Rook get along due to their shared interests in culture and history? The possibilities are nearly limitless. I think in the long term, the overarching story should involve Ben learning to treat the Omnitrix as a tool for peace and using it less for combat, as well as closing the gap between Kai and Ben. I'm a sucker for romance if you can't tell. Finally, I want to discuss the Omnitrix. I think that Ben should frequently unlock new aliens, like once every few episodes, but not all of them need to be super powerful. Maybe make them a lot like the background characters from Omniverse. However, I would love to see Ben unlock aliens like Spitter, Sandbox, and Snake Pit. I also want Jetray, Fast Track, and Chameleon to return because I feel like they got shafted in Omniverse. And that's my idea for a road trip series for Ben 10. I may potentially turn this into a comic or written fanfiction, but that's not set in stone. I'd love to hear your thoughts and ideas in the comments below, and you can let me know if you want to see more of this kind of content by liking and subscribing. Other than that, I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you later.